Visit ChooseExcelis.com to see if you qualify for coverage or for help renewal. To learn more about applying for
Hold
health
on one
insurance.
second.
Yo, what's up?
Okay, good.
Broadcasting from Big B Studios, your station for classic hip hop, R&B, and much,
And
much
someone
more.
dropped the speaker.
You are listening to
Brother
WUSP
told me.
1550 AM,
All right, your mic is hot.
W238CA, 95.5 FM, Utica, New York. The Heat.
Hi, this is Cassandra Harris Lockwoo, and this is Dancey.
Hi, folks. Thanks so much for tuning in on this steamy, hot, this is a heat wave kind of day. So welcome to the hot seat. Oh, it's appropriate, isn't it?
Right? The super hot seat.
And we have with us, this is our end of the week news wrap up. And we have John Stemen joining me and Dave the Difference Dancey. Welcome, John.
Thank you.
How are you holding up in this heat?
Not great.
I know you look a little flushed
He
here,
said
buddy.
not great.
It was a slightly later work day, so I had to kind of frantically fly out the door, and then I forgot my beverage, so I'm not going to survive the
And
hour.
you have your beverage even when it's not hot.
Yeah,
So
I have
can
that beverage
imagine.
when it's 20 below.
Oh man, John. Thanks for coming.
Yeah.
You got, oh man. Oh God, we got to get something for you. At break, I'll get you some water.
All right.
Okay.
I promise.
So we have a tasty list here of
no doubt.
international and national news.
Mhm.
I got to tell you, the first one really is.
Before we
getting me.
get to that though, can I do my overview for
Your what?
Department of Corrections?
Oh yeah, please do.
Yeah, thank you. We do have, it's not very much news, so this will be pretty quick, but there has been a little news, and I think the reason I want to share it is because some of it is good. This time, right? The prison is actually, Department of Correction is actually conducting formal reviews right now across facilities to analyze up to 3 prison closures that have already been approved by the state budget. I think that's good news. And in light of what's been happening up here, especially at Mid-State and at Marcy, that was among the demands during the Robert Book protest, was possibly closing some of these dysfunctional facilities. And places where inmates are getting beat to death could be labeled as dysfunctional.
Good. Yeah, you think?
I think,
That's
right?
a
Think it's fair? You got 10 or 12 guys going to jail? Yeah, I think. So that's one of the things that just occurred this week. There's been aggressive recruitment regarding lowering the officer age to 18. It's driven a 156% increase in exam participation and has boosted graduations. So that's good news too. But we don't want 156% of the same people, right?
And we don't want a whole mess of 18-year-olds either.
Right. We want some people, maybe a year college requirement, 2 years maybe in criminal justice.
Some sort of
right.
secondary
Training,
Yeah.
perhaps.
Yeah.
It's a little frustrating, but at the same time, the recruitment efforts is positive.
And we've been actively seeking to have the Department of Corrections advertise
Yes.
with this multi-racial influences here,
Yep. Yep.
And that's, when you look at what has happened to the Utica, New York correction, police department, things have gotten a whole lot better since they've gotten a whole lot more diverse.
Yeah, they have.
And the sheriff's department too.
I wouldn't, I know you've seen a few more faces, but we have a long way to go.
Absolutely,
We're not even at 10%.
But there's an there's a shift in the incidents. I
think there's a shift in attitude.
Yes.
And maybe even a more welcoming environment, might be safe to say. I'm not sure. You remember years ago when I was writing articles about our local department, remember we talked about that a little bit, but it's a sensitive subject, obviously. And oftentimes the black officers would run into a lot of hostility from other officers that might not feel comfortable with multicultural department. So, we have a long way to go. Simple as that. We do. And I think the more the merrier. So our recruitment efforts aren't in vain.
They're what?
They're not in vain.
Okay. Well, I haven't seen them yet, and they have not come through here. Which anyway, that's just part of the whole thing. That because when money is spent, it's good to have some spent in the,
Oh yeah,
minority
bottom line.
community.
Yeah, the bottom line, no
absolutely,
doubt about it. I see exactly where you're going with that.
Okay. It helps
Bottom
all the way
line,
around.
yeah.
Absolutely. All right. So what's your next piece?
A little bit more. There's one more issue. It was safety and security. They are actively combating contraband really hard. So what's been happening is this K2 is taking on a whole nother level. Right now, it was already bad enough, coming in like oregano. Well, now what they're doing is they're soaking it in paper.
Oh, and that's how those
Yes.
officers got sick?
Well, that might have been. That I'm not sure. But I do know this much, that they have been not only soaking paper in the K2, but they've also used THC. So now there's THC infused paper as well. So what's happening is departments have had to purchase additional testing equipment to figure out and go through actual mail. So it's getting to the point now where inmates...
Dogs that can't sniff it out?
Nope. And the inmates have to get the mail digitized. So you might get a letter, but you're not going to receive that physical letter.
Oh. Ooh.
Yeah, they're going to read it, they're going to edit it, and they're going to give you a digital copy of it.
Wow. Weird.
It's come to
Okay.
that, yes.
Wow.
It's because of K2 soaked paper. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. So that's all I got.
All right. Well, I do believe that the Corrections Association is upping their influence or participation.
Corrections
or something
Association
like
New
that,
York.
Right?
Yes. They were really active in the last year. As you know, we interviewed Sumit Sharma, and you remember we held our tongue. Remember, we did our part.
Yes, we did.
We did not.
Yes.
But they did that sneak attack.
Yeah, right.
Which was great. They're able to get into the department without any warning and get a really fair sort of assessment.
Yep.
Yeah, and interview people and all that. So yeah, more to come on that as well. I got to follow up with Sumit.
Yeah, on a couple other issues too.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so John, we've been really talking about the environment a lot. And the emphasis, the unfortunate emphasis on the fossil fuel use that only benefits the billionaires and the trillionaires that own and operate that whole system. It's a whole system. And this is number one is a really good reason not to talk about it, and the other side, the impacts of it. Go ahead. 'Cause I know Dancey's going to be all over this.
Yeah.
So several scientists and organizations are saying that the surface temperatures of the ocean hit the highest levels ever during the month of June, and the way they're talking, it's it could be a tipping point. There's a certain point where how much can you really reverse when it gets to that point. So with those high temperatures and El Nino already here, the prediction is we're likely to see a lot of temperature records fall in the coming months. In fact, one scientist thinks the world is headed into uncharted territory with this combination, and they're saying if you think this summer is hot, this could be the coolest summer in a long time, so enjoy.
Well, and I think it's a heads up to the young people. They got to get busy because our
Because we're not
generation
doing
failed.
it. Yeah,
we failed.
We failed
we did
miserably.
what we could, and
Yep.
you got to pick it up from here because this is not normal.
No, this isn't.
That's the thing. They've only seen plastic all over the place. They've only seen rising temperatures. They've only seen diminished species of insects and birds. That's all they know.
That's all they know.
There's a whole past of more reasonable plant, animal, and herbal kind of
I think when we look back,
interaction.
when we look at when we're doing it now, but I'm talking about when we're long gone and we look back on this time, the biggest regret will be that we knew a better way, that we know and knew a better way. We know how to live in harmony with this world. We actually know how to do that, but we refuse to do it. And
we don't refuse. There are intentional blocks and
collectively we refuse to do it.
No, David. I really think that it's the incidents.
Then we failed to do it.
Yeah, we failed to overcome the objection of the billionaires and trillionaires. We couldn't.
I always felt that Obama was a little passive for some reason on environmental issues, and then the big mistake was bringing Trump in for the first term was pretty much the nail in the coffin. I think that was the point where we really had to act, and so for 4 years we didn't act. And
the nail in the coffin was when Ronald Reagan took the solar panels off the White House. That
led to kind of a long stretch of...
Yeah, no, it really was, though.
Carter put those on,
yes,
right?
he did. And so we were already on the right track.
Well, I think when Trump came in and offered all his billionaire friends, a straight pathway, if they gave him $1 million or whatever it was, he has delivered on his promise.
Absolutely.
He's delivered on it because he's wiped out the incentives for clean energy.
The reason that this is going to be tough to reverse is that oceans absorb more than 90% of the excess energy on Earth, which is caused by the burning of fossil fuels, and temperatures are rising anyway. And now we have the emerging influence of El Nino, so it's really kind of a triple threat going on right now, and it's got to be hard to reverse. And what are some of the things that happen when the oceans? Well, obviously, the coral reefs die. There's going to be a whole change to the ecosystem, and some of the seafood dishes people love may not be available.
Yeah,
because of this.
That's how the Earth breathes, is through our ocean currents. And when
trees,
the Arctic zone,
trees, and they're chopping down the trees.
Yeah.
When they could be growing hemp and saving the trees.
Yeah. And when the cold zones get warm, and see, that's the opposite in the ocean. The coldest places are the most thriving, diverse biosystems there are on Earth, right? So the warmer that gets, it creates more of a desert. And the ocean's already arid enough in certain areas where the big Pacific gyre is. Well, that's a big desert. It's a big giant desert.
Yeah.
The bottom of the ocean
is the opposite of a
and
desert.
if it wasn't for those thermal vents down there, producing tons of oxygen on the floor of the ocean, if it wasn't for those thermal vents, the tipping point already would have tipped. But see, there's oxygen coming from places that we're just now discovering. Radical groups in Europe, that chain themselves to parliament doors, and they're getting more and more radical there.
Well,
I love it.
I think with the new left insurgents, research, whatever.
I like that term.
Okay, is going to make a difference. I think their consciousness includes that chain of attention, right?
Yeah. When I was a teenager, we threw a flaming milk crate with feces in it right into the bank for.
All right, well, David,
for investing in apartheid.
All right. Well, we're not talking about that, David. We're talking about this list right here, not your ancient history. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right. So what do you got, John? You got a whole list of Supreme Court actions here, right?
Yeah, that should be done after the commercials because it's all kind of tied in
we have
together.
3 minutes before the commercial. What do you want to take out before that?
Yes. Well, a report came out today that that federal officials are quietly doing more, sending more immigrants out of the country than ever before, and they're just not promoting it because of the public is about 60% opposed to this now. And so what's happened is in 5 days this week, the immigrant arrests surged to 10,000 people,
Wow.
Which is a huge number. It's the Immigrations and Customs are ordering ICE officials to focus more efforts on picking up immigrants they want to deport, according to some documents the New York Times was able to get a hold of, and talking with some federal officials off the record. And the White House has told ICE that they want an increase in arrests, and one of the officials says it may be hard for the pace to continue, but they're aiming for 2,000 arrests a day now as a new standard of enforcement. So, bound and determined to meet his pledge of mass deportation, something that he has so far not really achieved. But if this pace continues, it may happen. And a Homeland Security spokeswoman, when asked about this, said, well, if you come to our country illegally, we'll find you, we'll arrest you, and we'll deport you.
Oh.
And
the birthright citizenship thing, but that held because he might have had to send
Ricky Rubio.
no, what's his name? The boy. His son.
Oh yeah, Jared.
No,
Right?
no.
Oh, Barron.
Barron.
Right.
Barron.
Barron's got to go.
He got
Yep.
to go.
Yeah. So does Ricky Rubio.
Barron got to go.
Yeah, Ricky Rubio got to go too.
All right.
Yeah.
See?
Yep. It's
Ay,
people
ay,
are like
ay.
against
Ay,
that.
ay,
Like,
ay.
oh man, it's nuts. You turn. What about Megyn Kelly?
I don't know about Megan. Is she on the list here? Or are you
I
bringing
don't
her
know.
up?
Is she?
No, I don't think so.
Oh gosh. Dude, then I'm not gonna. We don't need to talk about it.
Go ahead, John.
Well, I know that Marjorie Taylor Greene issued probably one of her most scathing criticisms of the Republican Party today, saying that she's done with it, saying that, it's been a disaster, that MAGA hasn't achieved any of its goals of helping the average people, and it's just been a sham. So I'm thinking that maybe Marjorie and Thomas Massey and some of the others are going to form another party. If that happens, it's really going to be death to the Republican Party as we know it,
yeah.
because there's a splintering that appears to be happening here in our area over the assembly seat, where there may be two candidates, two Republicans running, and
Constantino?
no, in our assembly race here in Utica,
Like?
it appears that. It appears that Daniel Fusco is going to stay in the race because he's on the ballot as a conservative, and he's kind of the conservative faction of the party, and Michael Gentile is more the standard, middle of the road Republican who won the nomination. But there's some hints that they think that maybe the results aren't complete. I don't know what they mean by that. There's going to be an announcement coming up, but some of the Republicans are not happy about that at all, saying, well, this is going to split the race, and it'll just guarantee that John Lipe gets in.
Right.
Not a bad thing, because I think John Lipe could do a good job. I think he has a reputation as being hardworking. And
well, we got a reputation for playing our commercials, so we got to do that. And then we'll come back and talk some more politics.
So witty.
Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back. What'd you say?
That was so witty. Got you.
If you're looking for appliances, we the best.
That was good.
Prices are much
Gotta
lower
get water.
than the rest. The test. Second-hand appliances, we the best.
Somebody had turned.
Shop, we the best at 1125 stars. Washers, dryers, and refrigerators. All reconditioned and ready. Stoves, dishwashers, and microwaves, just like new. Get air conditioners and gas and electric hot water heaters, and all of our appliances come with a warranty. Plus,
Enough to even get it to register.
Yeah.
prices are much lower
Because nobody
than
hardly
the
uses my
rest.
free.
Sales and service pass the test. Second-hand appliances, we the best.
Man, we're gonna put that thing on the page.
Soon.
How is it outside?
Envy, credit.
You've never been rich, but you've always
We
got
haven't
power.
been to hell,
You need to
obviously,
go to
because it's still alive.
9369 River
So,
Road, Wilson, New York. Utica and Church New York.
Maybe it's like a precursor.
Okay, a little purgatory out there. A little steamy, but not quite that bad. Wow.
Well, I don't even say precursor.
You can handle all
Obviously, this
finance.
is nothing compared to.
Oh, God. I heard the fire truck.
Just to give you a little
Good credit,
little piece of whatever.
You can get it established by
Yeah,
Federal
it's-
Farm.
It's like
So
a
don't hesitate.
my
Bring down that
temperature is alright, set 100 outside.
Mine said, like, yesterday it was like 93. And then it was 87 by the time I got home. Yeah.
And remember, we finance everyone. That might be just heat index.
I don't think they do that.
Thank you to
Do they?
We're proud to roll alongside you.
Yeah, because right now
Starting your first business.
it says the temperature is 94, but it feels like 105.
Next generation. Creating
We're
the
still
future
in that
built
extreme
for
heat
us.
warning
We're here for you. Together.
until
let's
like
make
10
this
o'clock tomorrow night.
something that inspires. Bank with you.
Yeah. So I was saying before, this is like the first like
In 1960,
real summer week.
the notion that used rags, paper,
Are you going out of town? Do you have a family thing coming
fast
up?
forward to 2026,
Next weekend.
and impact recycling is
My boy's
still
wedding.
That's right. 110 years
The speaker.
still first in customer service. When it comes to transforming your scrap
That was
metal
before. Somebody, I thought it was fixed. No?
confidential data
It was yesterday, okay.
construction,
Because Butter was telling me too.
certified data
So I gotta see it. I gotta get Tony to fix it again.
last 25 years. We have teamed up with the
I don't know if you know, but what Butter did is he brought to the number two and put the number one right there.
your scrap metal.
Number 2 is here?
Yeah, and number one is John.
Oh, okay.
It really doesn't matter because he still puts out.
Yeah, but sometimes it's got that short in it though, doesn't it? Number 1?
Always lead with.
Sometimes, but I mean, all I really do when that comes up is just unplug it and plug it back in.
Okay.
and it's-
More moments in
That's
those
fine.
communities. Imagine more for your
So
future.
you're,
A career that changes lives.
have you heard from
including your own. Find jobs
Ed at all?
supportcareers.com.
Crowder?
Sunday, August 16th, don't miss the only area appearance of hip-hop legends 3-6 Mafia as they bring their one-of-a-kind style to Sharky's Event Center in Syracuse as part of Endless Fires Fest. A weekend of amazing hip-hop and hardcore music at
So are you
Sharky's
gonna
and
have them on your
3-6
show?
Mafia. Support from Project Pat, Little White,
All
Rich
right,
Pass,
Project
Smooth
Pat.
Other, 3 stages all
you
weekend
arrange
long.
it?
Project
Start at
Pat,
just
that's
$125 for the day.
Well, we have
They're available
time,
at
right?
SyracuseTix.com.
You gonna go to this, John?
Festival lineup
that-
available
You
at
gonna go to
Endless
this?
Fires Fest.
I don't know.
I can see him there. John like, getting dubs. John getting dubs.
On the low, he be.
John, I know.
John
I know. Listen, John got game, man. He's not even on the low.
Remember went to a couple of events. I saw John. He was like,
John macking, bro. John ain't playing.
"Oh, here we go."
Hi, folks. We are back, and our engineer, premier, Jay Easy, just swung by because said we were almost non-existent on the radio.
Oh
Thank
my
you,
God,
Jay
thank
Easy,
you, Jay.
for hooking us up.
I love when he comes and he has that look of determination.
Yeah,
Like,
get
you
out
know
the
he's
way.
gonna
Get out
fix
my
it.
way.
Right.
I got to
You
fix
got to
something
fix
here.
it, right.
I got to fix it right
Don't
now.
touch nothing.
Right?
Don't even move.
That's right. That's right.
God
Thank you,
bless
Jay Easy, and I hope
Yes.
everybody. Hey, listen, if you got my, one of our cell numbers, and you hear us like sounding like we're far, far away.
Say so.
Text us.
Yeah.
Let us know, and we'll
If you
do our
see
best to.
something,
Yeah,
say so.
yeah, that's right. All right, so we were talking about politics, right? And the shift in politics, and the point that I wanted to make was that this new era of Democratic leftists that are coming in are just what we need, and I'm thinking they've got to have that on their
I agree.
agenda. They've got to have if they're going to be about anything, they've got to have the environment on their agenda. Not just the environment, but the control of our energy by the billionaires and trillionaires, and get out from under that stuff.
And what about our local...
Wait, John was going to say something.
John.
I mean, there's always a potential downside to thing. What I think we're going to see is a lot of urban areas are going to be run now by this new group of leftists, but boy, are the Republicans going to hit it hard in the heartland and the rest of the country. You're already seeing socialists this, socialists that
So
all
get
over
over
Facebook.
it. Get
They're not going to get
over it.
over
You
it.
know what else you're seeing? You're seeing record efficiency in New York City.
Yeah, I mean, he's
Despite, it was supposed to be a down year. Things supposed to be falling apart. He's fixed.
No, that was their
Fixed.
interpretation. That was
Right.
their projection.
He's
Because
completely
they-
turned it around. You know, not only is New York on the rise, just recently was voted the #1 city in the nation by some lifestyle poll.
and you heard
You
it
know.
here first, but
You heard it here
but
first.
I think that Ocasio-Cortez has a good chance of being the Democratic nominee
For what?
for president.
Definitely heard it here first.
Oh,
Because-
my
Definitely heard it here
goodness.
first.
Because the poll that came out today for the New Hampshire primary had Pete Buttigieg in first place, but right on his heels in second place, there she is, ahead
Right.
of like 10
Right.
other candidates.
Right.
I mean, she's got the name recognition, she's an attractive candidate, she got a good message, and she's drawing big crowds, way bigger than anything Trump is
She's
doing
marching
right
with
now.
Bernie, too.
I'll tell
Yeah.
you what,
She's marching with Bernie.
they'll run her if they have no intention of winning.
Well, I gotta say, people are disgusted. They're fed up. They're, and they're hungry and frustrated
Yeah.
with what with the Republicans.
The biggest advantage
They're
that
overcome.
Democrats may have is what I think will be a low turnout of Republicans, because Republicans are not chomping at the bit to vote in this
I was going to
election.
say they're lost. They are complete. They don't even know who to support right now. MAGA's falling apart. It's
Good.
MAGA's full of people that aren't interested in politics anymore.
No, they're not.
They're no longer-
they're not interested
But there was
in
a prime
governing. They just wanna
example this week
overcome
of how
abuse.
of how powerful the left, this left ascension is that a woman named Milat Kiros, who's just 29 years old, out in Denver, defeated a 15-term incumbent, and the incumbent is not a Democrat in name only. I mean, she was known as being a progressive, but she's a 68-year-old progressive. And what a lot of the insurgents, if you'll notice, like Mondani and Milat and some of the others, are under 40. And that's very appealing. That's just as appealing as the fact that they're not going along with everything Israel wants, and now
they're not afraid to talk about it.
Now AOC was in the incumbent's commercials because she's long been a close colleague of Diana DeGette in Colorado, but she would not endorse a candidate. She just the
AOC.
Yeah, she's kind of stayed out of it, probably thinking that there was a chance that there would be an upset. The one thing that's seen as her Achilles heel in particular is that she, through the years, had called herself a strong supporter of Israel just until fairly recently. So, that came back to haunt her.
Well, this would be the time to back off of that, that endorsement.
It just seems the more I hear about Israel, the worse it gets.
Holy moly!
God.
I'm embarrassed.
Yeah.
I'm embarrassed.
Wow.
The way people are embarrassed about America, I'm embarrassed for my Israeli friends.
Woo.
I had a roommate who was an Israeli. Down in New York City.
Yeah.
And she's mourning. Both.
Okay, both. Wow.
Yeah. There aren't too many people.
I know a lot of Jews. I don't know too many
The Palestinians.
Actually, I don't know any. I knew one Israeli.
I knew plenty of
It was a
Israelis.
kid's Jewish friend's uncle.
Well,
and he
this
would
is
go
New
stay
York
there
City. New York City. There's plenty of Jews and Israelis in New York City.
Now, last night I didn't get to add this, but some of the financial disclosure reports have come out on the president, and they're remarkable. Trump made well over $2 billion last year, but a lot of it, $636 million, or maybe 30%, came from this meme coin that he was selling, cryptocurrency, and a lot of everyday folks who are Trump fans did invest in it, and what they invested in is essentially worthless. And another,
He took it in. He just took their money. That's all. Keep going, John.
So it's, as one person said, it's hard to wrap your head around the fact that the president would engage in this level of self-enrichment at the expense of countless supporters. This is a president that made more money off crypto since he took office than in any prior year in his whole business career, where he really didn't make as much money as you'd think. Now he's making a lot of money.
Now he's really making it. Right. All the lies, they're actually true now. You could tell Forbes he's worth $1.1 billion. He really is,
million. Well, there was, but what gets me is why there is not more outcry and objection and whatever to the emollients clause. Come on, why isn't there some big action taken? He's just going to keep on doing it. If there's no consequence.
We're in America, and he's a rich white man.
Well, but while they're eating soup, he's eating lobster. You know what I mean?
And he will continue to.
Some I know are Democrats are disgusted too, and not going to vote because they feel that
not going to vote. What do you mean? Not
going to vote the midterms. They're just staying home because they feel that the Democratic Party, like the Schumers of the party, just kind of. They didn't do enough. They griped a little bit, but they didn't do anything. That's their perception.
That's too bad because he did do something, but it was foiled by a Republican bloc that blocked everything that they were trying to do. I mean, look at Cory Booker. He stood up there for 20-some hours, whatever it was. I mean, they tried, but they tried all through the ordinary. Methods. I think they're going to have to be some extraordinary methods that are going to have to be employed. Maybe like you said, the flaming
milk crate
pile or something through the window. I don't know.
Milk crate.
Right? Okay.
That works.
Got
their attention.
Got to be radical
Listen,
stuff.
UC Berkeley pulled out. of South Africa.
Yeah, listen, that
year. They did.
That was, you know, I mean, the South African, you know, that whole campaign was very effective. Remember, you know, the tents on Hamilton College lawn. That was after, you know, that was after I was up there because we did the marches, you know.
Yeah.
And they did more of the. We did some sit-ins.
You see how symbiotic that is?
Yeah.
Here on the other side of the country, you're doing the same thing.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm telling you, I myself was, I was inspired by California actions.
Oh yeah, we were on fire.
Yeah.
We cut glass to go protest. You know, and they couldn't stop the kids from doing it.
That's an economic reality. I don't think that these young people have hit the environmental reality.
No, they haven't. They really haven't.
It's such a gradual thing, and you know, your environment is just something you kind of live in. You deal with. Okay, it's raining. I put up my umbrella.
Right.
You know, it's cold. I put on my
warming's
coat.
a hoax.
Yeah.
You know, there's so many lies, so I believe it. You know,
but I think the strategy that we came up with is empowering the colleges and universities for their working into the next generation of agriculture and research on hemp-based products, and you know, choosing an industry to focus on to make a difference.
But that research is largely gone now. We're going to lose a whole 4 years of research in a lot of areas, not just in agriculture.
I forgot to mention that.
But I think, I think that New York State though has held out against this. You know, the federal not restrictions, but
for what? Federal reduction?
In anything.
We've counted just about
science.
everything.
How about science, right? Yeah, we don't do science anymore.
Right.
Go ahead. What are you
okay, yeah, I was just going to say regarding research. He just recently pulled out all of the sensors in the deep Pacific, meaning that reading on ocean temperatures is like one of the last ones that we're going to get for a long time.
Well, yeah.
He actually took those sensors, they had them removed, maybe 100 of them, maybe last 3 months, and that just happened. So, you know, yeah, that reading about El Nino, that's one of the last accurate.
Wow.
Yeah, and this is like really modern stuff. I mean, for whatever reason, why would, you know, he said because we don't need any more propaganda about the environment.
No, he wouldn't any more obstruction of his friends making billions and billions of dollars on oil.
Yep.
And oil products, right?
Yeah,
and coal. Do you believe they're opening up coal mines?
Yeah.
What?
Another one, right? Coal mine. It's crazy.
And I don't know that I trust any of his statistics now, particularly labor, because he practically fired the whole statistics department there. So when you get these job reports, I think there were some weak numbers out today, but they're probably worse than that. But he's padding the numbers as much as he can. Yeah. You have to take the reports that are more independent now. I think they're, you know, like Forbes and some of the business magazines will do some of that. And
what an embarrassment.
You know, listen, just looking at the passports is enough to let you know we're being run by, you know, this is idiocracy level of ineptitude.
I come from a scientific
satirical
family.
at this point.
I come from a scientific family.
Yeah.
And this is just such an affront. I mean, you know, science is progress.
Right.
You know, why do we want to be stuck back in the dark ages? This guy wants to take us back to, you know, to the dark ages. How about to the Great Gatsby? When all the rich people danced in ballrooms and all the poor people sweltered in the heat and ate whatever.
There's not one person in the room to say, "Sir,
it reminds me a lot, even of farther back. I think we're going back to the days of Chester Arthur now. And, like the late 19th century, the Gilded Age.
Right. Literally, he's gilded the whole place.
He's followed that. You know, those designs. Actually, they look like some of the things look like sort of Russian designs.
The Reichstag. What about the new Reichstag eagle? What about the new Reichstag eagle that he got? He said it was a gift. He got this big golden eagle. He just put it up in front of the White House. It's got a big. It looks just like the Nazi Reichstag eagle. Before that, you know, they got the eagle with the swastika under it.
Yeah.
Pretty famous picture. He got the exact same eagle, but it has a United States shield, not the flag. It's like a shield under it. You know, it's really telling. I think he really is like fulfilling this Fourth Reich fantasy.
I think what's missing for him is he's his own interior decorator, and what an awful garish collection of things he's building, like
including the toilet.
Of course, if he did have a decorator, it would be somebody pretty, comparably awful.
Liberace, maybe?
Yeah.
Somebody
like
got to
that.
be Liberace.
But he don't even play the piano. It's too bad. He's got no talent. He has no talent. They can't even play a decent game of golf. All right, we have one more minute till we go to break. You want to just go and we'll come back and start?
Sure.
All right. Stay tuned, folks. We'll be right back.
All right. It's my turn to get water.
Families with free and low-cost insurance options for those who qualify, like Medicaid Managed Care, the Essential Plan, and Child Health Plus, with benefits like low-cost preventive care, dental, or call 1-855-355-5777. Plan offerings vary by county. Attention, language assistance services and other aids free of charge are available to you. Call 315-671-6575 TTY 711. BCBS is a non-profit independent licensee of the Blue Cross Blue Shield Association.
At First Source, we believe in building a better community together. When we become a member, we're not just doing a credit union, we're becoming a member for good. Through local partnerships, outreach, sponsorships, and education, we're creating opportunities that uplift, inspire, and strengthen our community. At First Source, we're committed to positive change and making a lasting impact. Together, we make a difference. Together, we are community. Membership and credit requirements apply.
Some moments can change a life forever. At Upstate Caring Partners Community Health and Behavioral Services, you can be the one that shows up with care and compassion. We're hiring a licensed crisis response specialist. If you're a licensed behavioral health or nursing professional who wants your work to truly matter, this role is for you. With flexible evening, night, and weekend shifts. Earn $75,000 to $90,000 a year and get a $5,000 sign-up bonus. Find your next meaningful role at upstatecpjobs.org.
Come taste the tradition at Palermo's Pizzeria, serving up Utica's thinnest, crispiest New York-style pizza, plus hearty favorites like lasagna, spaghetti, and creamy chicken Alfredo. And don't forget dessert.
I love his drops. The Jamaicans are amazing. I don't know, the patois is just amazing.
Dude, come with a little money. We'll make the payment.
Say it one more time.
You got to come up with some money so we can make this payment.
Okay. Oh, the payment for tomorrow?
What's the payment for tomorrow?
Okay.
Well,
I hear you saying.
that's called payroll.
Right. I know you're saying.
We still got
Bringing that money is what you're saying.
Yeah, but instead of the 32, it's 22. That's
Right.
Still got to pay it.
Bringing that bread. Oh, Mary Trump. I love her.
That goes without saying, but also it's a description.
Oh, Shane McGovern. You know Shane McGovern?
No.
Oh, you do?
No. You said no.
He just did say yes.
You did not.
He just did.
You heard me. You misunderstood.
Oh.
We are back.
I admit.
We are back. Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
On your game now. On your
Okay,
game.
yes,
All right.
yes.
You're in control.
The station that brings you more station IDs than any other in
Right.
Mohawk Valley.
Intermittently, too. You never know when
Just
they're
because
gonna
with
call.
this FCC now, you never know when they might come charging in.
That's
And,
another payment we have to handle.
Oh,
is the FCC.
man.
Hey, listen, this don't come easy.
No.
This does not come easy.
No.
We got FCC, IRS, NBC.
Woo.
We got.
Keep going.
You don't get all the letters, all the combinations.
You got
of
them all.
letters.
And then you got Spectrum on top of all of them.
Oh, man. Don't forget National Grid. Oh,
Right.
my Lord.
Oh.
People think you just come in here and talking to a microphone.
No. It's the last
and
thing
then,
you do.
And how about AC, too?
Yes.
This time you got to have AC. With
Yes.
that south-facing winds, we would be Fry City up here.
You know
And
how hot it was when I first came up here?
No, I don't.
I could have put a fry and egg, right?
And that's not healthy for the equipment.
No.
It's not good for the equipment.
No, it's not.
Anyway, we're back. And John wants to talk about Supreme Court decisions, right,
Love
John?
Yeah, it's almost like old news. Anything that happens like Monday or Tuesday gets cast off to the side by something crazier, like people going up to the Empire State Building and military officials being arrested when they just speak their mind a little.
Right.
But we had some major rulings, and I would say that it was definitely a mixed bag. But
yes,
but I do feel a little better about some on the court, particularly Amy Coney Barrett, who I was never not too impressed with when she got in, but she's more and more becoming a swing vote for some decisions that are got to be good for the country.
Amy, right. We're happy about
You know,
that.
I always felt she was intelligent, and I think if somebody is intelligent, there's always hope. I think Samuel Alito's kind of dumb myself.
He's kind of crazy, yeah.
And how about the
Clarence
one and
is
only?
an idiot. Right.
Yeah.
Clarence is a complete moron.
So,
now,
but
is Amy Coney Barrett the one with the Haitian children?
No.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, that is her.
Oh,
yeah.
oh, okay.
She has
Yeah.
2 children who
Right.
got them from Haiti.
Yeah,
Okay.
so they're you know.
They're gonna have to send them back.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh my
She's-
God.
What's her name? Yeah, I was like, wow.
So what people are saying, though, is that the person who's really in control now is John Roberts, who's the other conservative that's been going along with some liberal decisions, and that he's been the most activist Chief Justice in years. That he's become a leading authority, and he's basically voted in the majority more than the whole other group. And he wrote for the majority in nearly all the significant cases this term, including the birthright citizenship one, and he also went against the sweeping tariffs.
Oh, okay.
And that Roberts has been able to put together an ideologically diverse coalition with liberal justices and at least one more of the conservatives joining him, and he's kind of gone from conservative to right in the middle. This happens a lot on the court, and it's what is saving the country right now.
Absolutely.
Right.
And you look at the most important decision, I think, even more important than the birthright citizenship, is the one where the court basically said that absentee ballots can still be counted after the election, which greatly benefits Democratic candidates, because a lot of Democrats vote by absentee ballot.
Mail in too, right?
Yeah, I early vote just because if I'm out in New Hartford, it's right there in the orchard. You just walk in. I actually early voted even in the primary, even though there were only 2 races on the ballot, because I got done in a minute. Basically, you just walk in and walk out.
So easy.
Excuse me for a second, John. Let me see your hat. What does your hat say? What's it say? Keep your head down.
It says, "Immigrants make America great." I like to start arguments sometimes.
Right.
So, talking about the the executive order that Trump had seeking federal loans and forcing this list of confirmed citizens by each state was also struck down, not by the Supreme Court, but by a federal court, and that's also seen as a major victory. And then, with this combined with also the administration's use of the Department of Homeland Security to try to force states to adopt things like hand-counting ballots and using this SAVE database they're putting together to flag suspected non-citizen voters.
But hand-counting ballots?
Yeah, what the Republicans love to do is stall. They certainly stalled in 2000 when they wanted to make sure that George W. Bush got in. And
is that what the
the Chads.
The Chads?
Yeah, the Chads.
What was it? The shrinking Chads? Oh, no, it was something they defined themselves.
That's how we ended up with all those digital voting machines, because the Chads made some way they double did it, or
the guy with the
what
reminds me of the guy with the magnifying glass.
Right. Oh, man, it was so ridiculous.
Are you kidding me? Anyway, go ahead, John.
The almost equally important decision to me is, of course, the birthright citizenship ruling, where the court said the administration can't use an executive order to end birthright citizenship for hundreds of thousands of babies born in the U.S. And again, this became a 6-3 decision because of breakaway Comey Barrett. but wrote, as stated, he wrote the actual majority decision, and he used a very old decision for the Supreme Court where, justices used the 14th Amendment to grant citizenship to the son of Chinese nationals, the people that were trying to stop that, saying that he wasn't entitled to citizenship. But Roberts said that the citizenship clause applies to nearly all children born in the United States. His decisions are seen as being very clear and direct, unlike some jurists through the years.
I wonder what he meant by nearly.
Yeah, nearly.
What are the exceptions?
Say that again?
He said nearly all.
Yeah, he's
now, I
saying...
wonder what the exception is.
Well, his decision is saying that, under this rule, we should guarantee citizenship to all children born in the United States, and we should not depart from that view today. So I'm not sure what he meant there by nearly.
Right.
Well, he made specific reference, Trump made specific reference to Chinese, what do they, I don't know.
Oh, no, baby factories. Right.
No.
It's not true. I've heard a whole story.
Wait, you heard one story. I remember hearing about this over the years, okay?
Birth tourists or something.
Yeah, tourism. Yeah,
birth tourism.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And there would be, these Chinese women would come over here, in droves and
have
groups,
babies.
And have babies.
To make them citizens.
Yeah, and then, and his fear is the Chinese are going to come in here and take over the place.
Well, he said they have apartments. They'll rent out a one bedroom, put 10 people in a one bedroom. That type of deal.
I remember
that's a gross exaggeration.
Well,
they may have caught someone doing that, but that's not like this. Like, put it this way: there's not like 4 chapters in Utica going on right now.
I'm not talking about Utica. Utica would not be a focal
like
point. It would be an import
it's
city.
An epidemic.
But anyway, it's a thing.
Yeah, I'm sure it exists somewhere. Someone's doing it.
Oh, go ahead, John.
Well, Roberts was very clear. He said children born in this country, even to parents here illegally, are citizens under the 14th Amendment.
Right.
He says under the Constitution they are citizens at birth. I think it's a closed chapter. Trump says, I'm going to Congress to get this reversed. I don't see that happening because
the government works at all.
In a midterm election where an overwhelming majority of Americans support birthright citizenship, it would be absolute. You would be absolutely signing your career-ending warrant by passing legislation to reverse this decision.
Like he did last week with the other legislation?
I would rather it have been a 9-0 decision, but I'll take a 6-3 decision because Alito and Thomas are just incorrigible. They're never going to support anything. They're like that MAGA person that always chimes in on your page. There are 2 of them in particular that are just hopeless.
I know, it's so sad.
Just nothing is ever going to...
Yeah, they're committed to that.
They ought to be committed, but anyway.
It doesn't matter.
And then what else did we have? We had a decision, not a very good one. The bad one, I think, was the one about campaign finance limits. The court ruled Tuesday that they're striking down limits on coordinated spending between political parties and candidates, and the critics on this are saying it's going to open the floodgates to even larger donations and even more political corruption.
Right.
Elena Kagan, writing the minority decision, said the majority has rewritten the rules of campaign finance law, clearing the way for wealthy donors to bypass any existing contribution limits, frail as they may be, by routing money through political parties. I think what we're seeing is there are a lot of people that are really fed up with the 2-party system. They would like to see us go European, where there generally are 4 or 5 or 6
right, when you
parties.
lose the confidence, right?
And when you lose confidence, you have to work with 1 or 2 other parties to get the majority. I think our country would work so much better. You could have an environmental party, you could have the MAGA party, you could have a old-fashioned Bob Dole, middle-of-the-road Republican Party, and then you could, the Democrats could have their socialist bloc and their more, moderate, standard group.
To make a more perfect union.
And it kind of works out that way, but the only difference is we only have 2 on the ballot. Yeah. We need more than 2 on the ballot.
Because what bugs me is there are these parties and they just endorse major party candidates.
Right.
Like,
Exactly, like the Green
I'll probably
Party.
make some people mad, but like the Working Families Party should exist to do more than just endorse the Democrat.
Exactly.
Right.
They should
Same
be
with the
running.
Green Party.
They should be running their very own candidate who can get out there and advocate, for what the party stands for, and instead of that, it just becomes kind of a, the Conservative Party endorses a Republican, and the
But they
Working
can't stay in the
Families
race.
endorses a Democrat, and
Yeah, but they can't stand the
We
race.
literally have to create legislation that will loosen the vice grip that the Republican Democrats have over the whole political process.
There are all kinds of improvements that need to be made
Yeah.
because this should never ever happen
Right.
again.
We're in this- yeah.
safeguards. No, we got to look at this and analyze it and break it down.
Yeah.
And if it takes
Really
another
do.
constitutional convention, well, let's do it
We
because
need
we
to.
can't afford.
Yeah.
We can't afford this. We've destroyed our country.
What's
our,
left the
our,
environment.
our respect in the world. We've upended the world economy because of greed.
Yeah.
And
One man's
avarice.
greed.
Absolutely.
Yep.
No, and the insistence on holding on to this one level, this one method of energy. It's
And
crippling.
there's also a
Fossil
fear.
fuels are killing us. Literally, they're killing us.
I think there were two other decisions that, I'm sure made Trump happy, and one was basically he was given the ability to fire members of federal agencies, at least for now, although they left the door a little bit open there. But they said that the Federal Reserve, can't be touched. He can't fire Lisa Cook from the Federal Reserve like he wants to, and it sort of makes it sound like, is consumer protection really any less important than the Fed? It made it seem like all
That was
these
the
other
first thing to
agencies,
go.
yeah.
First thing to, so what about him having to pay the what's her name
Oh yeah,
the,
Carol.
E.G. Carroll. Yeah. What about that?
Well, it more or less, let's say codified that court decision, and now he's not going to be able to, and that she can begin seeking that $5 million immediately.
I thought that they had to, she was supposed to hand it over.
Somebody that has $2 billion, unfortunately, $5 million is just a tiny fraction.
But
It's the symbolism there that has to be making him mad. But also the court on Tuesday upheld 2 states' laws barring the participation of transgender female athletes from girls and women's sports team. That was a 6-3 ruling. The law.
That's men that transition to being a woman playing in women's
Thank
sports.
you. Men competing against women. Men transition to women, competing in women's athletics against women.
Yeah, I don't like that.
I think it's unfair too.
It's unfair.
And what kills me is there's actually guys out there going, "What about the other way around?" I'm like, "Are you kidding me? Stop."
Why do they call their girlfriend shorty?
Listen,
Because women
there's
are
no,
traditionally smaller
I'm
than
saying,
men.
there's no trans woman, transgender woman taking over shop.
The only sport that I can see it would be fair is horseback riding.
Okay.
Well,
Right, where they got
the thing with
Your
this
skill
issue is
on that animal.
there's a remarkably
That's right.
there's a remarkably small number of people that
know.
that actually are affected by
Less
this
than
sport.
1%.
Not
Well, they campaigned on that whole thing.
Oh, they did. Well, the Republicans used that as, that they stole the term woke by using transgender movement. That meant if you were woke, that meant that you think that women should be able to go in there, men should be able to go in a women's room. They stole it. And it just freaked out everybody in Middle America that doesn't know any better.
I think that I'm surprised here, but the support for this sort of legislation is growing rapidly, even in New York, and 4 in 10 Democrats actually support requiring trans athletes to compete on teams that match their birth sex. Nationally, it's 66% in a recent Gallup poll.
I don't have any problem with that.
No, not at all.
What's next, John? We only have like 4 more minutes.
Well, as we head to July 4th, as you mentioned earlier, Cassandra, the American people are not that enthusiastic about our 250th anniversary. And a recent poll is showing that only 53% of U.S. adults are extremely or very proud to be an American. That's the lowest since 9/11, or since 2001 anyway. That was probably right before 9/11, because 9/11 boosted that
I was going to say,
support for America. But much of the support you can blame on Democrats, and also a little bit among independents. The Republicans' support is not at all dropping off. But they ask for, what do people think about, or are you proud of America's political influence in the world? 24% among Americans as a whole feel good about our political influence in the world. 10% of Democrats, but 45% of Republicans feel good. So that means 55% don't. So they're just
majority, yeah.
So
there are a lot of people that are.
Like I said, I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed.
Remember 9/11? We were so upset that we didn't even say French fries. We were freedom fries. Remember that?
Yeah.
People were like, "Yeah, let me get some freedom fries." They wouldn't even say French.
And no American has fallen farther in estimation since those years than Rudy Giuliani.
So we have anonymity. Oh, that's right.
You're great.
America's
he was seen as a hero back in those days.
He was a hero.
Now he is just a sad, slobbering remnant of the person that once existed. The New York Times did a exhaustive story that I never printed because it was like 87 pages, one for each year he's been alive.
Oh, right.
And,
wait. Let's not go too far.
And they said, what is it why did this happen? And they basically pointed to alcoholism.
Yep.
From a lot of his associates said, it's like all day and it's really bad. And so I wanted to also talk about the Confederate flag backlash here at 4th of July because one of the states, North Carolina, put a Confederate flag in the booth at Trump's 250th anniversary state fair. So Mount Olive Pickles, which was the big sponsor of the North Carolina booth, pulled out, and now all these MAGA people are calling for a boycott of Mount Olive Pickles.
They're mad. And some guy jumps on there and goes, "I'm going to go get a big thing of Vlasic now." And I'm like, they weren't there either.
What about any comments on AI before we close out?
There's always an AI story. But there was an opinion piece in The Hill, which is a very political publication, saying AI is creating America's next underclass. We're seeing some that are saying, it's not going to make things that much different. I think it's making things a lot different right now. I don't see that it's not going to have much influence. But what this guy is saying, his name is Jensen Wang, is that AI is going to demand new social norms and rules of everyday survival are changing and fast, and we're seeing it in where there was a protest in Ilion over the weekend because it appears that Remington Arms Building may be used for.
Can we go to commercial? Can we go to top of the hour?
We can do that.
Station ID.
Come back and do a little more chatting.
Yeah. Station ID.
Gotta do our FCC thing. What is it?
You are listening to
Broadcasting from Big B Studios, your station for classic hip hop. Broadcasting from Big B Studios, your station for classic hip hop, R&B, and much more. You are listening to WUSP 1550 AM, W238CA, 95.5 FM.
Okay, we're back. 6:01.
I think that the gist of this is that there are going to be people who are going to be able to make a fortune if they have the skills that AI is going to require, while some of the skills that were once locked behind a $100,000 university degree are going to be useless because they'll be available to anyone who can just type a coherent sentence. I mean, the shift is going to turn the corporate ladder into a sheer cliff. They're saying that any capable adult is now going to be able to steer these models and control things. And
well, what I'm concerned about too is the the energy draw. And I think that
And the water use.
that's what exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And I think that, and I think I spoke on this before, that they should be required to create their own energy. Their parking lots should be covered with solar panels, and they should be required to drill wells all around for geothermal to heat, to cool their facilities, and not be drawn on the domestic powers.
Whatever renewable is more
the
efficient
grid,
for that
the grid.
situation.
They should not be.
Right.
They cannot draw on our
Right.
grid to drive their overeating demand for energy. And somebody said, "Oh, well, it's not going to be enough." Well, that's too bad. Just have to put more out there, won't you? Figure it out. Because I don't think that we should be subject to their to supplying their need to suck our power and our intelligence.
What I think is bad about the alien proposal is that I've heard that these things, there's sort of some vague noise that's created by these, and that most of these data centers are kind of out in the industrial park or in the. But this is right smack in the middle of neighborhoods that people that have lived there for generations, and people are onto it and they don't like it. I think that the local officials are like, Alien isn't doing very well, and they may be leaning toward it, but they're thinking, oh, it's going to save our tax base, when in reality it's going to do more harm than good.
Well, we'll see how that goes. Unless you have anything else, we're done for
Nope,
tonight.
When we come back, we'll all be 250 years old, and
yeah. So happy birthday, America. Let's do better for the next 250, yeah?
yeah, I think we can do better.
Thanks for tuning in, folks. Good night.
Good night.
This is Thursday. You did commercial. Shut up.
Broadcasting from